Hi, thanks for stopping by. As we continue using the same dataset from City of Little Rock, Arkansas 311 service request, in this video we will try to find out new or repeat locations. So what we could do is we could quickly go to the data model. We have the table here, 311 Little Rock, Arkansas service requests, and there is a calendar table and population table. So for us to understand the logic, let us try to go to the table view and look at the columns. There are various columns here, right? So we want to find out if there are any repeated requests coming from a same location, right? There are various columns, right? For example, new geocoded address is there, this column. So we will randomly pick one particular location, and let us try to click on that and click OK. And this is from this location only one request came in. So obviously this is not a repeat, right? So other way to achieve the same result is that we have longitude and latitude, and the location has this pair, right? Latitude and longitude. We could go and look at those columns, and if it is repeated, we will get more than one value, right? So another simpler way is go to street address column and probably randomly pick, say, let me just pick one airport road, click OK. We can see right away, we see that there are 14 requests from this location over the years. And the first request came in February 2017 and subsequent requests, right? So what we want to do is we want to create a calculated column so that the first row here should be new and the subsequent should be repeat, right? That is a logic. So that means we need to look at the address, and we also need to look at the date. So when we build a calculated column, we need to use this particular logic. So anything previously, the earlier row, that condition should be matched, and also the date. So that way we get a new or repeat locations in a calculated column. We could achieve this by using measures. I think in one of the previous videos last year, I have created measures so that we could find out a new and repeat locations. It could be like, new customers, new products. It could be used in any kind of data set. So since we are using this data set, I am trying to use locations. So now that we have understood, let us try to create a new column here and click on new column. And in this particular field, let us start typing the code. The code would be very simple for us to understand. So let me just name that as the column name should be new repeat equal to. So let me try to kind of use filter function, and filter function. We will try to wrap the main table around all function so that we want to remove all the filters on this table. And the logic is we know that the street address, right? So let us use that column, street address column equal to, and we will use earlier function. And earlier, we'll type earlier. And earlier function will, usually it is mostly used in the context of calculated columns. So we are trying to use this calculated column here. This should be easy. So we say that, hey, if a street address equal to earlier street address, and we also add another condition, the filter expression. For the filter expression, we'll add, say, two double ampersand, and we already have a date column here, right? We will straight away, we will use that column. So I will use that date column here, and the date column should be less than earlier date. So that is exactly what we have seen in the table view. So we will use the earlier function again here, and we'll pass the date column here directly, the date column. So this will be the table, right? This is how the table should look for us as a starting point, right? So we understood this part. And the next is that obviously we cannot pass this, right? Filter will give you a table. So we are trying to create a calculated column, so we will get an error. So what we could do is, logically, if we think about it, we will try to add count rows. We'll wrap everything around this table. This will be the table for the count rows function. So let me just type count rows here. Let me just use the count rows here, and for the count rows, this will be the table, right? The table which we have already typed up. that will be the table. It will count the number of rows. So logically, if you think about it, if it is greater than 0, then it has to be repeat. Otherwise, it has to be new, right? So all we have to do is wrap everything around if statement. So we will try to type if. So if this particular the count rows is greater than 0, then we will type that as repeat. Else it should be new, right? So pretty simple to understand. Like I said, we have first looked at how the table should look for us. Filter table, all function wrapped around the table, and we've used earlier for the street address and also for the date. So once we count rows, and if it is greater than 0, it should be repeat. Otherwise, it is new. So it's a pretty simple way to understand. I think you can pause the video and look at the code. It's pretty easy. Easily we can create this particular new and repeat calculated column. We commit to it as shown here on the right hand side of the table. We have that column, right? New and repeat. So as a sanity check, you could always look at particular location. Let me just scroll down and see when was the first repeat. Right, the data is from 2016, so it's probably sometime in January. There should be a repeat here. Let me just scroll down again and see. Let me just try to highlight the first time the repeat came in. So 130 Valley Ranch Way, that is the first time. Earlier than that, it was a new location, and this was repeated. So let us try to copy that value. Let us go to the column. Let us paste that 130 Valley Ranch Way. Copy here, paste it here, click OK. So obviously it is pretty clear to us that there are more than one request from this location over the years. As shown here, we have new, first time when it came in, it was a new location, and subsequent times from the same location, it was a repeat. So I think our logic is perfectly working. Like I said, we could always use measures also to achieve the same result. So I think a calculated column is one of the methods we can use. So what I've done is I've created a report page already to save time. So let us try to go step by step and understand what is there in this report page. I've created few measures for the look and feel, but otherwise I think it's pretty easy for us to understand. As shown here, there are a couple of slicers up top, and there is a text slicer on the right, and also two card visuals. Below that, there is a matrix visual. So those are the values which are passed to the slicers, month, year from the calendar table. And also we have used the method in which the service request came. That is also a slicer. And I'm using a March 2025 Power BI version. So that is default. You have the text slicer. If you're using any earlier version, make sure that you have those preview features available for that version. So, and I have added a number of locations measure, which I have created for the card visual, and also I've added the number of complaints. So, I mean, at a glance, the user will be able to see the various things here. So, for the matrix, I've added date and a street address for the rows, and for the columns, I've added a new and repeat, and also for the values, number of locations and number of complaints. It's a simple matrix visual. So this way, if you drill down into next levels, you can see that by date, it has given you the date is there, address is there, number of locations, new or repeat, all those things are available. And this is the number of locations measure. I've used distinct count over the street address. And also I've added a couple of things here for the title and the subtitle. It's a pretty simple code. So that for the matrix visual also, it will be informative, right, for the user. So this is a pretty simple code. I've used selected value for the month, year. So anytime the user selects, makes selections on those two slicers, those values are grabbed, and that is shown in the title visual. So all we have to do is go to the title and add that to the title. Similarly, I've added subtitle, conditional format. So I've added those values here, locations and complaints. I've formatted so that you have that 1000 separator. And once you commit to them and add it to your title and subtitle, those are visible, right? So as you hover over any data point, it is kind of empty, right? What I thought is we could add a map tooltip, which we have already created some time back. So I've added that as shown here for the visual, for the matrix visual. So anytime the user hovers over a point, so the point is also shown in a map, right? So that way it is kind of intuitive. So anybody who is trying to look at the data, any of those officials will understand where the location is as such, right? This is the tooltip page which we've created in one of the previous videos. It's a basic map visual, and I've added latitude and longitude, and I've added number of complaints for the bubble size, and pretty simple tooltip page. You know how to create a tooltip page, then it should be easy for you. And we go back to the matrix visual, and I've added that as a tooltip page for this visual. So anytime you're hovering over any data point, those things also, the map visual also will show up as a tooltip. It's pretty cool, I thought. So any kind of selections as we play around with the slicer selections, and if you want, you can try to copy a particular address, and you can type it up in the text slicer, or you can copy paste there. So that way you can, in case if somebody wants to look at a particular address, the text slicer is pretty easy. That way you can type it out, the address, or go to that particular row and copy the value and paste it into the text slicer field. So that way also you can see a particular, zoom into a particular address and see if it is a new or repeated. And if so, where is the location? The map point also tooltip also will show the location, right? It's a pretty cool way to look at the data. And there are various methods you can achieve the same result, right? So using calculated columns, or you can use measures. This is applicable to any kind of data set, right? Like I said, we have a sales data, or you want to look at if customers are new or repeated customers, products or whatever. So based on your needs, you can use the similar logic. And as we have already seen in the table view, for example, we looked at one airport road. There are 14 total complaints from them over a period of time. So the 2/28/2017 is the first time it was received. So it is obviously new location. And subsequently, you can see all the repeat column values are there 13 times over a period of time. Over the years, the complaints came from that location. So it's a pretty easy and easily you can create a calculated column and create this report page and look at the data. So that way, any official who is working on this data, if they want to zoom in and drill down and understand if there are any complaints which are coming from locations, they can drill down and see how they can address those repeated complaints from the same location. So this is one of the ways to look at the data. And if you make any selections on the slicers, I mean, it is up to us, right? We can create any kind of visual based on our needs. I've just created the slicers up top, and the two card and also text slicer, and also the matrix visual. So that way, any kind of selections are made, those values will also change. And you have also added, we have also added a map tooltip. Whenever you hover over a data point, those locations are also shown. So this is a cool way of looking at the data. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.